Coach, from the first time you met Memphis, you really closed the gap on everything. The two things that really stick out tonight are the foul shots and the turnovers, what we talked about earlier today. Is that what bit you tonight?
Yeah, the turnovers in the first half really hurt us. I mean, fortunately, I agree with you. I was concerned if you told me we turned over 18 times, but I didn't think the turnovers beat us. I mean, just 18, but they only got 10 points. Like even at the half, we had 12. We dodged a lot of bullets. Second half, we only had 6 turnovers. We did a very good job in the second half taking care of the ball. I mean, I'm not happy with 18 turnovers, but they weren't what killed us. They didn't convert them the way they normally do. We did a great job defensively. Pretty much the second quarter was sloppy, but pretty much most of the game we did a great job on the boards. We didn't make shots. Their defense has a lot to do with that. But we also had a lot of looks that we liked, and we just didn't put the ball down. And free throws are just, you know, guys are obviously not trying to miss them, but you can't, to beat a team this good, you can't not make free throws and, you know, miss some of the shots we missed down the stretch. I thought we put a great effort against a really, really good team. It's disappointing to work that hard, and I thought Deron did a great job taking the ball to the basket. I mean, it's hard to believe. They come down the other end, and I thought there was a travel before the pass, but you know, I didn't watch the replay yet. But he goes to the basket on the other end and gets knocked down, and we go to the other end. And I think if you watch the replay, I think you're going to see a travel before the pass. But you know, you don't lose the game on the last play. We had other opportunities to do things, but that's just a real disappointing way to lose.
Is this as effective as you've seen Deron play recently?
Yeah,
especially with his ankles, the way they've been hurting him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he really did a good job. You know, he competed, he moved the ball, and again, he's playing against one of the better defensive players in the league. I mean, I don't know if Tony was first or second team the last 2 years, but he's an all-league first or second team defender. So, you know, it was very, very difficult. But you know, a lot of guys. The bench again gave us a real good lift. You know, Dre played very, very well. Marshawn, particularly early, couldn't buy a shot late, but Mirza gave us good minutes. You know, in a lot of ways, not just the shooting. We only took 4 shots, but he had a big pass. He rebounded. He gave us good defense. So, you know, it was encouraging to see a lot of guys, you know, pick up for other people. I thought Reggie did a great job defensively and rebounding. You know, so a lot of guys played well. You know, just not quite good enough.
PJ, I guess it'd be stating the obvious to say you guys might miss Joe's offense on a night like this, but the way Brook has gone, like 3 out of the last 4 games, the way he played tonight, where is his game gone? And I know you've gone with Glatch when he's had a hot hand, but did you think about going back to Brook in the 4th, or was this just another one of those nights where he just kind of didn't have it?
No, I thought that Dre was playing very well on both ends. I thought he was giving us good defense because Mark really hurt us early. And then I thought after that we did a pretty good job, whether it was him or Deron. And Dre also had Z for a while when we had him in with Mirza, and he had to take the power guy until they brought Gasol back in. So it was a question of I wanted to go back with CJ also for offense, but I didn't think we had a matchup for Tayshaun. And so I thought that group was playing so well. It was really more the group playing well. I didn't want to break that group up. Which is why, you know, I didn't go back with C, but I didn't really think hard about any other subs.
PJ, what did you see there on Darren's drive at the last play that they gave you guys?
It was way on the opposite end for me, but I thought he took the ball to the basket really hard. I mean, it's just thought he took it hard and he got knocked down. But you know, it's 60 feet away from me. I didn't see it, but it's a tough, it's tough. Play on one end and then a play on the other end, and our guys are all screaming. And I should say I didn't see it, but if you look at the tape, and he was hit, and if you look at the tape and the guy walked, that's very disappointing. If that's what happened, I don't know if it did, but that would be very, very disappointing end to a game.
You've mentioned a couple times this week about the fact that you have a guy in Brook who, even though he's an all-star, can take sitting in the 4th quarter of games. But this is three times in 4 games that's happened. Is there at some point when you worry about a confidence issue there with him?
Without question. Without question.
Is that something you're going to talk to him about, or?
Yes.
And just on Marshawn, obviously he gave you some really big minutes tonight, played well. in some stretches he hasn't got a lot of time recently after
I thought he played, I thought he played well. Our other guys, we had other guys just struggling to score. We really struggled to score for a while, and particularly early when he came in, he played well. He didn't. They were, I won't say giving him the outside shot, but they were trying to make him take the outside shot and not get to the rim. And he had some good looks, and he's a good shooter. They just didn't go. I thought for most of the game, he competed defensively much better than he has, and still at the same time, he had a tough matchup with Tayshaun in the first half, and he had a tough matchup for a couple of plays in the second. But I think it was Coupon, somebody backing in for a big shot. But again, it was, some guys were giving us offense, some guys were giving us defense, some guys weren't giving us a lot of either, and we were just trying to patch a group together. That group played really well. I mean, they did some good things. The other thing they did, particularly in the fourth quarter, that we were asking for the whole game, we got out and ran. When we were getting these stops, we finally got out and create. We were, against a team this good defensively, you want to play open floor, and we did that for a good chunk, particularly early in the fourth quarter. And all year we've been saying when we do that, we're much better. But when it ground down at the end, we couldn't. We got a couple of looks that we wanted, and we had a couple other possessions where we just really struggled to get a good look. And I give a lot of credit for their defense. And we didn't, unlike most of our recent games, we did not execute two end game plays very well. You could say the whole night we didn't execute out of bounds plays very well.
PJ, was that at Deron's ankle again at the end when he was fouled? Well, it wasn't called a foul, but he came up limping.
I think, I didn't even ask, to be honest with you. I assume, yeah, but I didn't ask her. Timmy didn't say anything, so I'm not sure if that's what it was.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
But, they didn't call us, so I guess I didn't.
How frustrating is that, knowing the game was at that point in time, and instead of got to one and you got a chance to win the game?
It's frustrating, but, I can't really control, no calls or calls, or anything like that. I can control that I turn the ball over the next play, which is even more frustrating, and really, how we executed down the stretch was frustrating, I think.
Was it on that same drive that you got hurt?
Yeah.
Was it like on the way down, or when you got the contact?
When I got the contact, I thought I got fouled up top and down low.
It was your left, right?
Yeah.
How tough was it for you? I mean, you said you wanted to be aggressive, more aggressive in the fourth this morning, and then really did that. I mean, how tough was it for you to kind of come down to that? Not necessarily that one play, but
Yeah, I mean, I tried to be more aggressive today. I didn't settle for a jumper, in the close the game right there. Tried to get to the lane, attack. I thought I got fouled, but didn't get a call.
When you guys were down by 2, you drove, you got into the top of the lane before you decided to pass and be the turnover. Was there a thought of taking that jumper right there, or what were you trying to set up?
It was a little broken down play, really. I had to come out and get a little farther than I thought, and then just turn the corner. And went down the lane, I saw Mirza cutting, and I think he was going to the corner. It was a bad pass. One I wish I could have back.
Why did the offense block now last couple minutes? You guys have scored, I think, the last 2 minutes tonight.
A lot of it, I think, was just a defensive game. It was a low-scoring game, and that's how they like to play. And a lot of it had to do with the defense.
On the play you thought you got fouled, could you replay what you saw leading up to that foul or non-foul?
I drove to the lane, I got fouled. And then went to the ground and got back up and saw Marshawn block the shot.
Deron, against one of the better defenders in the league, you really played one of the best games of the year. How good did you feel out there tonight?
I felt pretty good, and TA is definitely a tough defender. It was very physical, and it's tough to get around him, tough to get free from him. And so I just tried to stay patient and just play the game within itself.
You're definitely doing whatever it was, wherever you got kicked at.
Tuesday, just I got knee in the calf.
Nothing's going to affect you in Tuesday's game. You had 24, the rest of the starting lineup, like 22 combined or whatever. I mean, how tough without Joe out there and somebody else obviously looking to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely miss Joe. We count on him so much, especially closing minutes like that we had tonight. Tough, close games like that. So, we definitely missed him out there. And it was just a tough game. This is a good defensive team who locked us up. I don't think we shot well from the field, which is why I think the starters scoring was so low.
Would you have liked to see Brooke out there as another go-to option down the stretch?
That's not me. That's on people. I can't control that.
Physically, do you feel as well as you have in a while for most of the game? Or?
Yeah, it's up and down. Most people's season's up and down. My game is up and down. So I have I do a move and I did a little Euro step and shot off my right and it hurt for about 10 minutes and started feeling better and then I got going again. So it's just depends on what happens and how the game goes.
Thanks, Darren.
Real good defense. They guard for real extremely good defense. So and like you said, they real physical. They pound the ball, and they're a great team. They know egos. They know who needs to touch it. They know who needs it at certain times. Everybody know their roles. Even everybody on the bench, everybody accept it, and that will make them a good team.
How much does this loss sting to you guys?
It hurt a lot, because you don't want to lose at home and stuff. So it hurt a lot.
What happened, do you think, down the stretch there in the fourth quarter? You guys couldn't score the last few minutes.
Yeah, we just couldn't find a way to get a bucket. Things didn't go our way at the end, like we probably thought it would, but unfortunately, still got to find a way to get a win, and things went Memphis' way, and worked out good for them.
Reggie, what do you guys need to nail down right now?
Just find a way to get a win. It ain't like we just, Houston game was a tough loss. It was a tough loss. It ain't like we just getting blown out. So we just got to be able just to finish the game and stuff. So that's the main thing. Finishing. So we managed to find a way to finish the Milwaukee game, but kind of stinging these last two. So we just got to go to New Orleans and find a way to finish it out.
You guys, when we talk about finishing with this team, we're usually talking about Joe a lot of the time. So hard not to think that that's part of the missing element on that.
But you can't really think about that. You can't really make no excuses. You know what I'm saying? We got to make the best out of what's out there. He truly missed, yes indeed. But at the same time, you don't want to use that excuse. That's all about being a professional. It's all about working on your game, working on your craft, putting in the time and practice to be prepared, because you never know when the opportunity may come. So it could be a great opportunity for somebody else. But unfortunately, it shows that, we do live.
You think guys maybe are prepared for that moment right now?
I don't know. I can't say. Like I said, just a couple things just ain't going our way towards the end. Because we were playing great towards the end. We were getting some good shots and stuff like that. It just wasn't going down. So it just ain't worked out our way.
Is it troubling or confusing that the rotations have been kind of different?
It is what it is. It is what it is. You got to roll with whatever. However the boat goes, you got to get the best out of it.
Reggie, was that as good as you've seen Deron in a while play?
He played good. He played good overall. We just got to win, and stuff. So that's the main thing. Overall, as a team, we got to find a way to get a win and stuff.